So what do you need to get started as a translator? What do you need in place before you start applying for jobs and start trying to do translations? There are a couple things you need to do, and you need to have them in place. They need to be set up, because if they're not, you're going to have to go back and do it later. You're going to waste a bunch of time. It's going to be very frustrating. I've seen too many people do this. And so I'm going to show you from a practical point of view, there are three things you need in order to get started before you get started. So let's get started. So what are these three things? By the way, they're going to be three things with sort of a bonus thing at the end, maybe, sort of. We'll see. We'll get to it. I'm going to make a couple assumptions when we're starting out. The first one is that you have a laptop or a computer or something along those lines. I want to get the broad things out of the way. And the second one is that you have Microsoft Word, preferably Microsoft Office, but Word. When you're first starting out, you're going to get a lot of stuff on Word. I mean, it's just standard. That's the way it goes. And chances are that's where you're going to get your file. So at the beginning, you want those. You need those, and so get that started. But assuming you have those in place, let's see what you need. The first thing you need is a CV. You need an updated CV or resume. And this CV or resume needs to be catered toward freelance translation. This is very different from the CV you would be using as a 9-to-5 office worker, right? Because if you're looking for a full-time job to work in an office, you're highlighting other things. There, people want to make sure that you're a good coworker, you're a good employee, you're a good manager maybe, that you're a good person to grow with the company, you fit the company culture, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. None of this applies to a freelance translation job where you just need to concentrate on the job at hand. And I go into this in more detail, I'm sure probably in other videos here, definitely my course where I talk about what specifically you need to do and to concentrate on for freelance translation CV or resume. But suffice it to say, you need a freelance translation CV or resume. Number 2. You need a cover letter. The way I usually recommend doing it is a template. And you can use this cover letter template as your cover letter. You can use it as a cold email to send to prospective agencies or end clients. You can use it to respond to job alerts that you get from whatever website or whatever it might be. And you can use it for your various specializations and various different jobs and stuff like that. And so it's basically a template where you kind of fill in the gaps and you change it and kind of customize it for each job. Again, I'm not going to get into detail. And again, I think I do get into details in other videos and once again, definitely in my course. But you do need that in place. Number 3, the third thing you need in place. I'm going to be more specific on this. You need an online profile. You need a LinkedIn optimized online profile. What do I mean by that? I mean, you need to be on LinkedIn because it's been gaining in importance, and quite frankly, just, get on LinkedIn. Preferably get active on it, but at least have an optimized profile on LinkedIn, meaning you have all your information there and you're good to go. You might notice that a lot of the information that you put on LinkedIn comes from your CV, and that's true. So most of it, in fact, you can just copy and paste from your CV directly onto LinkedIn and you're good to go. Obviously, LinkedIn has all these other options, show you're available to work, this, that, and the other. So yeah, do all that. And I have other videos I know where I talk about that you can search for. But you do need your optimized LinkedIn profile. And these are the 3 things you need in place. So first of all, CV or resume, cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile. Now, the bonus that I'm going to give is something that I actually would have recommended as number 4 until recently, but now it's becoming less and less. But I do want to say it as a bonus, and that's a profile on pros.com. Pros.com is a very important website. It's still important, obviously. And until recently, I always recommend getting the paid version right off the bat so you can get started. But lately, quite frankly, I've been hearing from a lot of people that the quality just isn't there. So now I recommend getting the free version. But still get it and fill it out with all your online profile. Once again, it's the same information from LinkedIn or from your CV, so you kind of just copy and paste it. And just get the free version for now. So the reason I don't include it is because in this bonus, I would say pros.com as well as every other online profile, right? Because there's no reason not to. They're all free. So on Upwork, freelancer.com, Translators Cafe, whatever you have, might as well put your information everywhere because you don't know where someone is going to find you. It does take some time, but it's all free and you have all the information already. So it's a question of copying and pasting the information and making sure that you have it on all these profiles. Now, you'll notice a couple things I didn't mention, and that's a cat tool, because at the beginning, frankly, you don't know what cat tool you want, or even if you want a cat tool, you might end up not working with cat tools. So don't worry about it. You've got time later to look into that. And other stuff like getting your own personal website or business cards and stuff like that. Once again, you can look into it while you're applying for a job, but don't take time away from your job seeking or, actually performing translations to do this other stuff, because you can get started without it. But these are the main things you do absolutely need in order to get started. And that's it. Please let me know if I'm missing something, because I'd love to hear your opinion and your experience. And also let me know if you think I'm wrong about anything, because I'm curious to hear about it. But that's usually what I recommend for everyone when they're first starting out, that they have these things in place. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next time. Okay, thanks. Bye. Sabido.